Okay, so this tote, I upcycled a tote,
I love this.
and I did fabric, but I used my stencils from Stencil Girl, and I used the glacé watercolors. You can't, the shimmer effect shows up if you're really close to it. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but the fact that you can use
So
these
beautiful.
glacé watercolors on fabric. Now, to do that,
That's awesome.
I I I know nowadays they say you don't have to pre-wash your fabric. I do. I'm from the old school.
Yeah.
I always pre-wash all of my fabrics before I do quilting or anything to take out that sizing. And then I iron it really good. So pre-wash your fabrics, dry them without fabric softener because you don't want that barrier that the fabric softener would cause between the paint and the fabric. So dry it without fabric softener. And then I'm going to show you right now how you can stencil to create your own fabric. And this is so cool. But you heat set it, so then it's permanent. I haven't washed the whole tote yet, but after I did this, I washed the fabric because I had to test it to make sure, and it works fabulous. So this is one of the techniques I'm going to show you today. So I'm going to put my camera down. Lisa can keep talking while I switch cameras.
Oh, wow. I'm really looking forward to the foiling and fabric with these watercolors because I would not have thought to use watercolors, well, for one on fabric,
Right.
especially something that you're going to wash. I would have never ever thought of that. And I wouldn't have thought about doing it with your foil papers. What a fabulous idea.
Well, I try it with a lot of things because I like products that will give me several uses, not just.
Right.
And I am by
Yep.
no means a watercolor artist, but when I approached Kim about making a paint that would be safe for fabrics and could be watercolor, and in her creative scientific mind, this is what she developed, and it's beautiful because I also wanted it shimmery. So these are the
Yeah.
paints. I have two of the amethyst. Kim is sending me the ruby, but so they come in 8 colors. So there's an emerald. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a green, a white, a teal, a purple. There is a red,
Here's
yellow,
the red.
blue, and black. Yep, Lisa has the red. So they're beautiful colors. And what I'm going to show you first is I grabbed one of my stencils and I put some, you can use like pixie spray or stencil tack to put on the back of the stencil because that will make it stick to the fabric. And this is just a white piece of fabric, but I want to show you, see, the fabric sticks. It's not going anywhere. So when you're using these, because they're watercolors and they tend to run, that will help keep it contained. Today I was going to try a tone on tone and see what kind of result we got from that. So
Ooh, that's
this is a
so
tone on
excited
tone
for this.
fabric, and I'm gonna take the watercolor, and I'm taking a brush. This is like a dynasty brush, and what I'm going to do is I have a spray bottle here, and I'm just going to spray some water right into my watercolors. And then I'm going to put it out on my palette here. Let me see if I have to move this over a little bit so you guys can see. New camera, so I'm trying to get used to that. Okay, so I
Oh,
have just a little bit of paint on here. And I'm just going to paint right over the stencil. So having that stencil tack or pixie spray right on the stencil is going to help to keep it where you want it and help prevent some of that seepage. So remember, pre-wash your fabric. I mean, you can test it another way if you want, but I pre-wash, dry without fabric softener. I'm not going to do this whole thing. I just want to show you the cool result you can get. And what's super cool about it is it has the same feel of that fabric. It does not stiffen like with some fabric paints. When you use those,
Oh, that's cool.
really stiffens and hardens it. So what I'm looking for is how beautiful this would be in art quilts as a option. So I'm just going to do like that much. That isn't a lot. But you can peel this off, and because of that pixie spray,
How cool that is, Anne. That's
or
awesome.
stencil tack, it stays exactly where it's supposed to. And it still has the same feel. Now I would take this and heat set it with your iron right away, because if you were going to add more colors, then it's not going to run. And when you heat set it, it makes it permanent,
Right.
which is awesome. And you can then machine wash it and it'll stay. But this is 100% cotton fabric. I haven't tried it with like blends like a cotton poly blend or wool or anything else. I have only tried it with the cotton. So you might get different results. But I wanted to try it with this tone on tone fabric because this is a very small stencil design, but you can see
Oh, look how cool that is.
Where
Yeah.
the white part, like the background is a little tanner or darker. So the white part took it deeper than the background.
That's beautiful.
So
now I have a question for you.
Yes.
Can you also heat set it, either with your heat tool or throwing it in the dryer?
I don't know. I mean, I know the crafters inks, you could throw it in the dryer because that's the way Lisa always did it. I had never done it that way. And
Right.
I don't know if, because watercolors are wetter, I don't know if I would want to pick this up and throw it in a dryer because you might touch something.
Yeah.
A heat tool might work. I have not tried that because I always just grab my iron. But a heat tool, I would assume, would work also.
Okay, perfect.
But that is such a beautiful result. And like I said, it doesn't change the hand of the fabric, which is awesome. So another thing I want to show you is,
cool.
Okay, so I'm going to take a tag, and I'm working on the back of stamped tags that I have, which, because I'm not a fine watercolorist, I mean, I did watercolor this, but...
Oh, that's pretty.
Well, you can see some of the shimmer, but I'm going to work on the back. This is watercolor paper. And I want to show you, like on this one, so this is the teal and the yellow. And you're able to blend them together like normal watercolors if you don't heat set them. If you heat set them, like this was not heat set right here, and I had completed this up to this point. I had put my finger there, so that's why there's that little tiny smudge. But then I heat set it, and then I added the yellow. And I brought the yellow ever so slightly over the teal. And you notice there's still that perfectly straight line. It's not a blended line like these.
That's
so
so
if you
cool.
heat set it, you're able to not mix the colors if you don't want to. I know when you're watercoloring, you usually want to be able to mix those colors, but it's nice to have that option. Now I'm going to use this same blue or purple, and I'm going to,
And
yes,
let's see, Bonnie wants to know if this is regular watercolor.
it's a heat set watercolor. It's something that Kim from Emerald Creek created in her scientific mind because I told her everything I wanted it to do, and she came up with it. I don't know if there are any other heat set. I've not seen any heat set watercolors on the market, but she made it so it's heat set, and this has a shimmer to it. So it's different from everything out there. So I'm just using, I'm going to grab some more.
Yeah, because watercolors don't have iridescence in them.
I don't believe so.
Not any that I've used in, you know, in the past or even current.
Okay, so I want to show you, make sure I'm in camera.
Yep.
So I am not a decorative painter or anything. That's why I use stamps, and I do a lot of base coating. Whereas Beth, who we interviewed last week, oh my goodness, that girl can do beautiful stuff. So I'm not sure. Can you see that shimmer?
You can see it a little bit, but it's so frustrating because in person it is just beautiful.
In person, yeah, there's really...
Yeah, it's just hard for the camera to pick up, I think.
Okay, I want to show you this too. So like for these to come off, you push, okay, I know this camera does things backwards. So you push up with the name facing you. Okay, so I'm going to, again, just spritz some water in there. And
I love that comment, Laura.
what'd she say?
Laura says, Emerald Creek, you're always cooking up something new and fascinating. She really is. She really is amazing.
There are so many new things coming out this year, and even some new things from me. So yay.
Yay.
So I'm taking the yellow, and I'm going to go right next, well, above the purple. But then, because this is wet, see, it picked up some of the purple and brought it into the yellow.
There you go.
So you're able to blend like a normal watercolor. Okay? I'm going to heat set this just with my heat gun. Okay. So now I'm going to take some more of the purple and put it up here. Add just a smidge of water. Now, like I said, you can keep your lids. You don't need to wipe them off. You can keep it like that. When it dries, you reactivate it with water, and you still have a lot of color. So
that's
now
such a great tip, you know, because for me, I always put my watercolors, when I want to mix something, I put it on like an acrylic block.
Mm-hmm.
Usually because I'm stamping something, but that's so cool because then you can pick that ink up at another time, or that watercolor
You're
up
not
another
wasting
time.
any.
Right.
Okay, so like here where it blended, here you can actually see where I brought the purple into the yellow, but the yellow didn't come up into the purple.
That's so cool.
So it's like genius. And I'm so happy that Kim did these. So I'm going
Yes,
to,
we want more colors, Kim.
we have some
More
more
colors,
colors
please.
coming. So this one is from the other day. Like I use baby wipes or paper towels all the time. And sometimes I save them like I told you. But look at those pretty colors on there, and that make beautiful flowers. So just so you guys know. Now, last night, I was trying to think because I wanted to show you guys so many ways that you could use these inks. So I got out, this is plaster, okay? And this is poured into a silicone mold, and it's a flower. So it's a flower. And this is the glacé watercolors on it.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so this half is shinier because I put some Mod Podge over it to see what the difference would be. And it really brings out the color and the shimmer.
Oh, that's so
I
pretty.
think you can see the shimmer even on this side. I'm not sure on camera. You can see it really well in person. But you can tell, okay, so it's watercolored because there's gradients in, okay, I don't want, okay, there.
There you
There's
go.
gradients in those petals. And this side, I just put some Mod Podge on. So look outside the normal things you would do and try them. You know, you never know what you're going to get, but this will be beautiful on top of a journal. I will, of course, Mod Podge the other side, but I wanted you to see both sides. And, of course, I'll finish off the back, even though it'll be glued down. If the edges are showing or something, I like to finish things off.
Kim wants to know what you're doing that on, Anne.
Doing what on?
What you just showed.
This is plaster, Kim. So it was a mold that was created in a silicone mold. So it's a flower silicone mold. And I've had these for years and years and years. I have a little drawer full of them. And so I pulled it out and I just wanted to try them on this. And it didn't use hardly any of the glacé watercolors because I put it on really dark at the tips. And then I sprayed water and added water to pull it all down.
I was wondering about that because plaster is porous, right?
It is. That's why I didn't put the water right onto the plaster. You know, I added it, but the color stayed beautifully. It's not going to come off. I gave it a shot with the heat gun just to heat set it in case. But when I added the Mod Podge, it didn't disrupt any of the colors or it didn't make it move at all.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, all sorts of beautiful things. So try things outside your comfort zone. Just like I took this. This is from my black and white paper line that you can foil. And I just started heavy. Let me turn it this way for you. I started heavy and I came down with more of a wash.
That's so pretty.
To make that gradient. I did the same with this one. So I'm going to try and foil this, which I know you can foil even though you've watercolored it. I just didn't know which color to use. So, Lisa?
Yes, ma'am.
Watch what people are saying. So here's some colors I picked. Oh, I'm not really sure about that one. So I have a purple, a copper, a beautiful green. This is like an iridescent silver. And then I have this white opal. So what color should I try and use on this?
Oh, I would try the iridescent. Yeah, that one. Well, what does everybody else think?
Yeah, I don't see any comments yet.
Yeah, because I think that that would be awesome to bring out that ombre effect.
Well, I can try two colors if anybody else has a suggestion.
There you go. Oh, and Kim, I'm making a list of what watercolor choices I'd like, please.
She is. She's
She
coming up
put
with
it in here,
colors for
and
me. Huh?
she said she put in here, tell us what colors.
Yep. Lisa
I've got
has
a list
started
started.
a list. I haven't
I
told her
have.
what the new colors are yet, but I'm
Yes,
anxious
I have
to
not
get
gotten
them.
those.
So to use the foil, when it comes in a roll like that, it's 12 inches and these papers are 6. So I just put it on top and I cut it in half. And then I use a piece of copy paper. I use a piece of copy paper to put this inside.
I am dying to see this. I'm so excited.
And then I put the foil on top. So it's like a sandwich. There's a fold here. My laminator is, let me see. It's just a Royal Sovereign laminator. It's like 30 bucks. They're not that expensive, but I'm going to keep it up here. I'm going to put it through so I can play while that's going through. You put the folded end in. Okay, so this is one of my papers also, and I thought it might be cute to do some of these.
Oh, yeah.
And then foil it, so foil would highlight them, but it wouldn't be the whole thing. So I'm just gonna.
Oh, yeah, that would be so pretty.
And for that, I'm gonna use the Tombow water brushes. They're just a little bit thinner.
Well, you have
And
pretty ones. Mine are all old.
well,
You have pretty ones, Anne. Mine are all old and beat up.
So I squeeze just a little bit of the water out. Well, I haven't, yep, it's out. I squeeze a little bit of the water out. And then I'm still going to use this as a palette. So I thought it would be fun to come in and just color pieces of this and see how the laminator and foil picked it up. So I put this through once. I like to put them through twice. So I'm going to stick it through one more time. I just always have better results when I do it twice. And
yeah, I agree.
Everybody is different, and you can use parchment paper. I know that ThermoWeb makes parchment paper to go with it, but I never have enough of that. That's why I use copy paper. But this is something, yes.
Bonnie wants to know if that is toner paper. Which,
These
yes.
these are black and white toner papers. So I have a floral set that comes with 6 designs, and there's 4 of each design, so there's 24 pieces in each pack, and then this is geometric. Lisa can put the link into my shop, and that's where you can get these. And then I also have a solid black toner paper that has 24 sheets that you can use the reverse, what's left on the foil in reverse. So
okay, here is the link.
There are so many patterns in there, but
there we go.
I thought
and
this
Kim says she wants to get some of those papers in her shop.
I will send you some, Kim. That would be good. Okay, so even if you go over, like this is a jaggy one, you can go like this and even go over the black lines, we're going to see if that will still foil. Like this one would be harder to do because of all those little tiny lines, but I do believe that this is still going to foil just fine. I'm not going to do this whole thing. I'm just going to do a few, and then we'll cut a piece off and foil it so you can see it, because you can do the coloring before you foil it or after. So I'm going to cut a little piece of this off. So this is about wide enough if I wanted to make a small tag.
There you go.
And I'm going to cut it here. So I could make a small tag with this. I'm going to take, I'll take the same foil because I have it out and cut it.
Yep, you want to save all those pieces.
You want to save every little bit of foil. Let me show you. I have got a drawer full of bits and pieces that will be used in projects, because you never know when you want just that little tiny piece of green.
Yep.
Or, you know, if you're doing a line, a strip for a card or something.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm giggling because I have the same exact thing, Anne.
Well, you know.
Yep.
You gotta save those things. Okay, so.
Oh, I can't wait for this.
This is the funnest part, like the reveal.
Oh, yes.
And let's hope it turns out.
Oh my gosh.
Goodness. Isn't that beautiful?
That.
I don't know if you guys can see how pretty it really is.
Yes, you can.
But
oh, and that's gorgeous.
So this is an ombre, but you can take and make tags. You can use it for a card front. There's so much you could do with this. And save this, because you can use it on solid black toner paper to get the opposite design. I would run it through the laminator to flatten it out before I ever used it again, though. If you run it through the laminator with just paper, it won't hurt anything. I'm going to heat set this real quick, only because it's still a little wet. It's paper. It's not watercolor paper.
Here's a question for you.
What?
Here's a question for you. Will these foils still stick to glues, or only for heat foiling? Sorry.
You can use the deco foils. You can use them with, they have some glue. They have a deco foil transfer gel. It works with that. They have a transfer pen. So just play around and see. It does work for different things. So I'm going to take and stick this one through, and I'll stick that through twice. But I just wanted to show you guys all the possibilities that these watercolors have. I mean, the colors are gorgeous. And like I said, I can leave this on the lid. This is where this came in, where I clean them all off. If I use this, I can react, because it's dry. So I can reactivate that with water.
See, that's a great tip.
Use that. So I'm going to be daring right now and not clean them. See, that's totally dry. But watercolors, a little goes a long, long ways. I'm going to take and cut this so it doesn't take as long to go through the second time. But they go a long ways, and it's nice that Kim is in here to answer any technical questions any of you may have. But they are beautiful, and the packaging is superb. Kim does things in small packages, low level, so it's easy to ship also to the UK and elsewhere. Okay, so we're going to open this one up. Wow.
Oh.
So isn't that pretty?
Wow.
And on that jaggy one, and I got on some of those lines, it still covered it nicely. Maybe I should have been a little bit more careful, but those are teeny tiny lines in there, so it doesn't pick up the foil as well anyhow. But even though it's already been foiled, you can still come in and keep coloring. So you can do it before or after.
That's so cool.
And this one I'm not being so careful with either.
And I bet that with the foils, though, that just brings out the shimmer from the watercolors even more.
It might. I don't know how much you can see on camera.
It's just gorgeous.
But isn't that just beautiful? You know, when you find a product and you love it, it's so easy to just play and play and play all day. So
Yep.
I'm going to switch my camera over. It's so nice to be able to say that, guys, and not use my phone. Of course, to be honest, I am using the hotspot from my phone because my home internet still isn't good enough to really do these videos. Lisa said I was a little too blurry when we did the test. So I'm still using my phone, but I don't have to take it out and move it. So
isn't that cool? That's nice.
Will it wipe off the foil lines? Here, I'm going to take a baby wipe, which I always
that's a good question.
Keep by me. I think that one that I just did and that I wasn't careful with will. The one that already went through, I'm not so sure about because it's going through a hot laminator, so it's heat set on there.
Yeah.
So the ones that were were already on there, no. But if you put it on the inside and you get some on there, you can really carefully. I did not heat set it, so of course it smushed around a little bit, and then I had it on my towel and then I smushed it. But if you're really careful, you could use a Q-tip.
Yeah.
And just go around the foil part and it will come off. So yes. But yes, so many possibilities with these awesome watercolors. So we just wanted to share with you guys. Lisa is like my promoter, and she does it way better than I do. She gets all excited and everything, but I really am excited about these because I love these so much. And I love all of my products, but I don't promote them as well as I should sometimes.
That's what she has me for.
That's true. And for everybody here, remember it's Lisa's birthday today. So make sure and say happy birthday to her and wish her all the best.
Yes, thank you, my friend. Awesome. And don't forget the spring issue.
It is beautiful.
Yes. So if you haven't gotten it already, head to the website and sign up. It's free.
And like, share, and comment with the hashtag Bella Crafts to enter for the 2 giveaways that Emerald Creek is giving away. And we will announce those winners next week, as we always do. We had one winner from last week, which Lisa announced during her live today.
Mm-hmm.
So when we have 2 winners, it's nice because then we get to announce it on both of the lives.
Yay.
Oh, Dorothy, thank you. So I will go through and answer any questions that Kim didn't catch or Lisa didn't answer. And we're so happy that you guys joined us today.
Yes. Made my day even more special.
Yay. We try.
My friends. Love that. Love it. Okay.
Okay. We will see you guys next week where we will have 2 more live videos, 12 o'clock and 2 o'clock Central Time. Make sure to join us, and we will see you then.
Yep.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.